Well, as you can see, the weather's taken a turn for the worse. So we've got a nice little project going on inside. Let's go and have a look, see what we're up to. Well, we've got the Discovery 4 in for a little job on the turbo, which is proving a little bit more difficult than I'd hoped. I've almost got it off, but it just does not want to come out of that hole. Yeah, there's something stopping it coming out, and I haven't figured out what yet, but we'll get there. And while the body's off, we're going to do a few other jobs. We'll have another look at that handbrake module, because we did it last time the body was off, but we haven't quite got it right somehow. So we'll do that, one or two other things. Yeah, I think we might replace these wishbones as well, the top ones, because they seem to be squeaking a bit, but we'll get there. Get a few jobs done while the body's off. Well, I've been on with this a lot longer than I'd hoped to be, but I finally got the turbo off, and I'm thinking that the problem might be in here. So we're going to take it to bits and try and find out what's going on. This actuator moves this rod backwards and forwards and opens and closes that gate on the turbo. So we'll take this off. We've already had it off. Have a little look inside it and I'll show you what the problem is. Down in there you can see that worm drive, and what's happened is, you can't quite see it there, but where it lines up with those, or should line up with those teeth on that half cog, you can see it's not making a connection. It's worn the teeth off that worm drive, so this flap is just free floating, which it shouldn't be. So basically it's worn out. There you can see, if you look down in there, you can see the edges of them are all worn off. So we've got another one, and I'm going to swap them over. So we've replaced it with one that works, or should work. So I can stick this turbo back on now. Well, I'm quite pleased with that. It's gone on fairly well, that. Took a lot less time getting it on than it did getting it off. And I've only got these few bolts left over. It's over-engineered anyway, I think. And our new wishbones have arrived, so we can make a start putting those on now. Well, we made a start on the wishbones, but it's proven to be a bit more difficult than we'd anticipated. We've got these two back bolts out all right. They're free, but the one in the front here, this one, is seized in there and it does not want to come out. So we're going to have to get brutal with it and chop it out. Then we can replace the bushes in here. And in the meantime, I'm going to dismantle the brake caliper, get the disc off, because thanks to all the salt they've put on the roads in winter here, the backing plates are completely disintegrated. So we'll put some new backing plates on while we're on, make a job of it. Pads are alright, it's not that long since we changed them. If you're doing this for the first time and you see these bolts and you're wondering how to get them out, what socket you'll need, just want a 12 pointed 15mm socket, just fits on there nicely. So that's all you need. You can see now that backing plate's completely disintegrated. Yeah, look at that. But you don't have that problem in Florida. Yeah, that's the salt they put on the roads in the winter. That's what does that. That's the new wishbones in place. We're still waiting for the new bush to go in there for both sides, but there's no reason why we can't drop the body back down now. Then we can lift the whole thing up, and that'll make working on this much easier. And one interesting little thing is when we've unscrewed these caps off the handbrake cable, the E-clip that's supposed to be in that groove there on both sides has rusted away and disintegrated. So in effect that cable's got nothing to hold it in place when the handbrake's applied, and this bit can slide freely in and out of there, so your handbrake it's not going to work. So it's important that we get some new clips on there. We originally thought there was a problem with the handbrake module, but I don't think there is. I'm sure we've replaced the innards in that. So that'll be the problem. Those E-clips missing. Send it down a bit more. To see where that steering joint is. What's that gagging out? Right. No, it's all right. It's clear, just. Oh, what the hell was that?
All right.
Yeah. Can't be far off there, like. Well, it's a new day. We managed to get the body down last night before we finished. The only thing we've connected though is the steering column. So everything's reattached today. So we'll see how we get on. But it is a farm and there's lots of hungry animals to feed, so we might run out of time. The engine starts and runs. We've bled the brakes. We've got one or two things to connect up and then put all the trim back on and see where we go from there. Well, this is the point in the video where I should be saying that's another successful fix and the Land Rover's all back on the road and everybody's happy. But I'd be lying if I said that. We've had best part of 2 days trying to find a problem with the transmission. Initially, when we put the body back on, the Land Rover started up fine and it ran perfectly happy with the new turbo actuator. Alan drove it out of the garage and it was parked up overnight, and the next morning it just didn't want to go into gear. So we dragged it back in and I had 2 days trying to find a fault with the transmission. We finally got it sorted out, although we still don't know what the problem was. I pulled it out for a test drive and then all sorts of other problems. Mainly the brakes. When I pulled it back in and put it on the ramp and lifted it up, I discovered that I'd forgotten to put back one of the ABS sensors. So that could have caused us all sorts of problems. It could have been sending false information to the computer, and that could have been what was throwing up all the transmission faults. I don't know, but you live and learn. And that moves us on to the next delightful little challenge that's thrown our way. Despite only being put on yesterday, this rear wheel doesn't want to come off because the locking wheel nut doesn't want to play a ball. So I don't know how the hell I'm going to get that off yet, but never mind. We will get it going one day, I hope. Right, I'm going to leave that wheel nut. We'll do that another day. I think we've had enough of it. We've had enough of it. But, as you can see, it's gone. We've got it outside. And before it breaks down again, I'll put an end to this video. So if you've enjoyed watching the video, give it a thumbs up, possibly even subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.